Hi everyone, I'm Paige Abbott, registered psychologist with Sana Psychological in the province of Alberta. Please remember that self-help videos and materials are not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're really struggling or feel like you could benefit from some professional help, then I would encourage you to seek out a provider in your area who can support you. Thanks for joining me for the final segment of my Practical Steps to Change series that I've been doing over the past while. And I was thinking, what is going to be the final step when I was preparing for this video? And basically what I've come up with is we're just going to have a conversation about just the journey of change in general. Last time we did talk about maintaining and sustaining change and how difficult of a process that can be. And I guess I just wanted to add in some thoughts about the journey and the path of change generally. Because by now, you've picked a goal or some goals for yourself. You've been playing around with different tools, different techniques, and to be honest, probably by this point your energy with those goals is probably waning a little bit. You may not be feeling as motivated to continue with the changes that you were really excited and invigorated to incorporate initially. And that's a natural part of the journey of change. So rather than be discouraged by that or fight against that, not to say you have to embrace it or like it, but it is important that you accept that that ebb and flow of energy and motivation is going to be a natural component of the journey. So if there is the expectation that your energy levels will be consistently at the level they were at the start of your goal setting process, that's really not a very realistic mentality, and it is going to lead to discouragement and shame and probably a sense of failure and lack of accomplishment. Rather, you do need to prepare for how are you going to handle that dip in motivation. How are you going to handle your brain giving you this story that we don't need to do this anymore, or we don't need to take this as seriously, or we don't need to do this as regularly? Well, I would hope that you can use your own internal coaching and your own dialogue to support yourself in remembering it is important to do these steps regularly, just as regularly as they were at the beginning and the exciting part of the process. But remembering that your kind of inner unhealthy part of your brain is going to push back. So you can gently respond and just say, thanks for your input, brain, but I'm not going to listen to that right now, and continue to take those action steps of change in your life. Building them into a routine, having accountability, having them in your schedule, talking with some key supports about your goals where you can regularly check in are really helpful. Also checking in with yourself to look at where is my level of motivation? Does anything need to be refined or changed in this process to support me? It's important not to just assume that what we were initially interested in and thought would work for us is actually going to be what we need moving forward. Goal setting, just like life, is an ever-evolving process, so we do need to regularly revisit what am I actually doing here and what am I doing it for? Is the motivation for other people? Was it for a specific outcome that I've now realized is not very realistic or sustainable? And if so, how can I redefine and revisit that goal so that it is more personal and that it is more realistic for you? Pay attention to the internal roadblocks along the way, as well as pay attention to the successes that come. So what are you pleased with yourself for doing or thinking? If you are able to sustain a few days or a week or longer, add a new action that you've never done before or you haven't done in a while, that's a major accomplishment. Often our brains do try to negate that or downplay that though, and so it's important that you do have those regular check-in sessions with yourself to look at what is going well, as well as the roadblocks that have come up. So external roadblocks, internal roadblocks, and how can you navigate those so that you can still move forward with the goals and the intentions that you have for yourself. And this is a process that can be applied anywhere to anything. So if it's relationships, if it's learning how to communicate differently, if it's working on boundaries, if it's a physical health goal of maybe building some strength, increasing rest, looking at specific behaviors or problematic substance use patterns that you're wanting to change. There's so many different things that in our lives we'll look at and go, that's no longer serving me and I want to look at doing something different. And so it's important that we keep refining our process of, so how do we do that? How do we get somewhere different? And how do we support ourselves gently with compassion and with empathy in doing so? Because the more we beat ourselves up, the more we use shame or cajoling or kind of those self-defeatist type of statements to inspire us, the more defeated we're going to feel. So really trying to look at how can you gently coach yourself as you would someone that you care about, because likely you would not use those harsh words or harsh techniques with them, and yet somehow we can get caught in the trap of thinking that that's okay for ourselves. I think I'll wrap up there because I've covered so much in the last few sessions. I hope that you'll keep coming back to those as you revisit your goals and move forward in your journey. I do wish you all of the best in that, and stay tuned for different videos. May not be a series upcoming, but I'm probably going to throw out some things around relationships and boundaries and feelings, and some of my favorite topics, which are those, as well as other things along the way. So keep subscribe to the channel, keep those notifications on, and stay tuned for more exciting content in the world of mental health and general well-being. Thanks so much for watching, and all the best to you in your journey of change. Bye for now.